much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you to our treasurer, Vicki. Thank you, Autumn, who is our field director. Please say hi to her back there. And not only thank you for tonight for making this possible, but thank you for building a movement with me over the last 18 months. And whether you are coming to this for the first time or have been here for all 18 months, you are welcome. And I just want to give you a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I'm Tim Peck, and I'm proud to announce right here, right now, that I'm running for U.S. Congress in 2026. Woo! I love you, Albany. I love Floyd County. The center of the campaign in many ways has been here. There's so much momentum here. And I have roots here too. My beautiful, ever talented force of a wife, Missy Bergen, went to New Albany High. I have in-laws and brother-in-law who teaches over at Floyd Central, lives in Georgetown. My Missy's mother is here, and father has been called Floyd home for 3-4 decades. So this is a place that is near and dear to my heart. Even my goat, Hank, won the Floyd County 4-H Fair Grand Champion last year. All about Floyd. So many of you know as well that I've been recovering from a surgery and a very long recovery. And I just want to say thank you for all your support, all the well wishes, all the cards that were sent, emails that were sent. It meant a ton. But I am healthy now. I'm strong. I'm determined, and I'm back in the fight. Woo! This is a fight to make sure our friends keep their jobs, our vets keep their benefits, our retirees keep their Social Security and their Medicare, our teachers keep our respect, our farmers keep their subsidies to let them feed us and our families, our vulnerable children keep their health care, keep their education, keep their books, keep their Medicaid. But the mission isn't just about getting back to the status quo. There's a lot of talk about clawing back to the status quo and fighting what's going on, which is important. But it's about being bold and making bold choices to overturn a system that hasn't worked for the overwhelming majority of Americans for a very long time. I want to tell you a story about my father. He worked for the Salvation Army, and he built the first homeless shelter for veterans in the United States. Ran it. Woo! So I grew up eating meals and playing chess in the library with the guys every day. And he had the saying that he would say to me, which has sat with me and really dictated a lot of my life. He said, people are people. And when you meet them, you don't know where on their journey they are. They could be on the best day of their lives, or they could be on the worst day of their lives. And these men, these veterans, most of them had seen the worst day of their lives, whether that be here at home or abroad in war. And right now, these men, they're all climbing out of it. And if you listen to their needs, if you truly listen to what they have to say, you can meet them where they are and help them find a better day tomorrow. It's actually why I became a doctor. It's to lift people up, to help them live another day, to help them live a better day. When I was in med school, I took a year off to live in Haiti, and I worked in a hospital in rural Haiti there with people who are poorer and more malnourished than you can possibly imagine. When I got back home, I developed meningoencephalitis and liver failure from what's called West Nile virus. So a lot of us know what meningitis is. It's when your spinal cord gets infected. Encephalitis is when your brain gets infected and swollen. And my brain was so swollen that I don't remember 8 weeks of my life still. I had what was called thought blocking, and I literally couldn't speak. I could think of words. I could even see the words, but the connection to speaking them was cut off from the swelling, so I couldn't speak. I had to go to rehab for that. What was even worse is that I couldn't remember the information that I had learned from 2 years of medical school and had to relearn all of that. When I graduated, the 33 people who visited me in the hospital came together to get me this watch that I always wear. And on the back of this watch, it has my initials, TCP MD, the date of my graduation, and in parentheses, finally. So I wear this watch to remind me all the time of my second chance, but also to remind me to extend the same grace to other people and give them a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, because of this, I know change is possible, not only as an individual, but as systems. System change is possible too. In 2011, I formed a company that made a telemedicine technology and one of the first medical telemedicine practices in the world. And we treated people well before doctors even knew what telemedicine was. It was barely a word. And so while practicing, I realized very quickly that the healthcare system wasn't working for everybody. And it needed to work better for those who didn't have insurance, for mothers, for children, for the disabled, for the aging, and really for all of us. Show of hands, how many people here have had a loved one in a nursing home or rehab, or even themselves, in the past, or present? Look at those hands. Right? It's almost ubiquitous that we have people in our lives that are in part of that system. And if you've been there with them and love these people, you know how hard it is when they get transferred to the hospital from that rehab. You know, no matter how good the hospital is that's receiving them, the system actually provides pretty terrible care to that particular patient population. We know that half of the people in these nursing homes have dementia. And almost invariably, when you transfer patients from nursing homes to the hospital, they get delirium, which is a state of confusion. And the person who you loved, who was themselves just hours before, are now in a state of confusion, and usually a state of quiet delirium, which means they're internally preoccupied and they can't advocate for themselves. And because of this, these really sick patients tend to be put in the hallways. And again, they can't advocate for themselves. They're not asking for water and they become dehydrated. They're not asking to use the bathroom and they get infections and soil themselves. So I was part of that system. And I knew there had to be a better way. And in order to learn everything I could about these patients, I actually lived in a nursing home for 3 months to do the research. It wasn't until then I realized that I could actually use telemedicine and this new technology to reach these patients before they came to the emergency department. The first patient we treated, I will remember him forever. His name was Mr. D, and we saved his life. We saved the life of someone that otherwise wouldn't have been saved. If we weren't there, he would have died. And then we treated hundreds of thousands of other patients with the technology and with the platform and with the people, the doctors and nurses being able to reach these people by telemedicine. Remember, this is back in 2011. And we saved lives that otherwise couldn't be saved, but we also saved Medicare $100 million by reducing unnecessary wasteful hospitalizations. $100 million, one medical practice. DC came calling because of that. I didn't go to DC, they came to me, and I became part of a bipartisan coalition that successfully passed bills to make telemedicine a reality, and why we all have it now, for the disabled, for seniors, for those people in rural areas, and even for veterans. And people often ask me, like, how did you get that done? How did you get anything done in Congress, right? Especially now, where just things don't get done. The answer's simple. It really is. We rose above the partisan divide. We put the partisan divide aside. And we realized this idea that we've been fed from our politicians, from our media, that we either have to ruthlessly save money by cutting, like Doge is doing, or we have to spend more money to make programs bigger. It's a false choice. That is a false choice. Instead of saying cut versus spend, we should be saying, how do you do things differently and with innovations? I literally have a pocket full of bills. And they're programs that these bills would create that were ready to be passed, that will actually save a ton more money than Doge is doing, because we're working on one of the largest pieces of our budget. And those who have enabled Doge to be done, we could put aside, and we can actually increase access to healthcare. We can actually make jobs doing these innovations. We can actually help people. And this is why I decided to run for Congress, because I've seen innovative government work. I've been part of it, I've done it, and with your support, I will do it at a much larger scale. So today, I ask for your support, for your vote, for your donations, for your time, for your phone calls to friends, for your energy and passions and talents, and mostly your belief, as we organize this plan to knock on over 100,000 doors. That work starts at our first Canvas training session right here in New Albany on June 21st. We will be starting this mission. My father, he taught me that we're all in different moments of our journey. And we can help the vulnerable while also rewarding the strong. We can do both. It's a false choice to think it's one or the other. That is literally the American dream. It's to support those who don't have, so we can give them a chance to give back to their community and make all of us stronger. This is not a new message. This is not a radical message. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the basic responsibility of man to be responsible to others. If you vote for me, if you elect me, I will fight to make sure every Hoosier has a job they can retire from, has health care, has autonomy over their bodies, and the freedom to express themselves so they can take care of their fellow Hoosiers. Join me in making a new path forward, where Indiana is a better place for all of us. I'm Tim Peck. I'm running for U.S. Congress. I'm grateful for the opportunity that all of you have given me to earn your vote. Thank you.
Woo! Yes.